the Rambler Network.
Hello, welcome back to Casablanca. In this episode, I am talking. This is the part two of the Desperate Housewives episode from last year. If you're watching on YouTube, you probably noticed things are a little different. I'm actually on camera, and I'm here with a really good friend of mine, Summer, from the previous Desperate Housewives episode, and we're
Hi.
together. Actually, we're not. This is a cool immersion thing on Zoom, but hi, Summer.
Hi, Trevor.
How you
I'm so
doing?
happy to be here. I'm great. I really appreciate you having me on. It's always a pleasure. We know each other quite well because we have pretty much the same brain.
Yeah, we are. We recently decided we're siblings.
Yes,
Yeah,
naturally.
you're my sister from another set of parents altogether.
That's exactly right. Born on probably like a different side of the country, but that's okay.
Yeah. Someone said we were twins, and I'm like, yeah, we're twins born like 10 years apart.
It's true. It's true. But I always feel like you're my age because, well, it is just a number. But
Yeah,
I guess also in my head, everybody that I talk to online is my age, which I have to be careful about that.
I keep forgetting that I'm much older than most of the people I talk to. Like all my coworkers are between 16 and 23, and
Right.
so like they're always like, I, at some point I'm like, guess how old I am, and they're like 25, and I'm like, yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, I think you could pass for that. Your age range is definitely like younger. And I always play younger when I do like, well, not so much the verticals, but in general, I feel like I have a bit of a baby face. So
Honestly, I thought you were 20. I thought you were 19 when we
that is
met.
so fun. Trevor, it's so funny you say that because I just started an acting class. And I'm super excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So last week was the first week, and everybody's kind of just going around and introducing themselves. That we didn't like give so much information, but at one point we were going around discussing like the shadow self and the persona and all these acting methods. And one girl said, "Well, I'm going to be turning 20," and I just stopped in my tracks. And I thought, oh my goodness, I am one of the oldest people in this room. And then last night, which was our second week in class, we get our scenes. I'm all excited. I'm paired up with this guy, Dylan, who's I think about 36. And he and I were just talking about our scene. We weren't supposed to run it. And all of a sudden, there was this lull in the conversation. And across the room, I heard another classmate go, "Oh, dude, I am so excited to turn 21." And Dylan and I just went, uh-oh. So that's where I'm at in terms of age.
Yeah.
And I have a
Um,
birthday coming up, right?
yeah, I know. Yeah, I have you saved on my calendar.
You're my angel, thank you.
Yeah. Actually, hang on, let me pull it up. Actually, I think
Aw.
it is actually, yeah, the 29th.
Yes, great, thank you.
See?
Headphone users beware, sorry.
Oh, speaking of which, I forgot to tell you about this, and I'm going to address this with the audience now. It's going to look like I'm looking off into the distance. I have a dual monitor setup type thing
Oh.
where I've got my laptop with an HDMI cable connected to my TV, and you're actually on my TV. So my laptop is down here, but my I'm looking at you way over here. So like it looks like
Amazing.
I'm actually not looking off into space. I'm looking at you. Now I'm looking at you, and like I can't even see
Yes,
because I wear this bucket hat everywhere,
I
and
love
like
it.
I can't see like the top half of, and so like if I like go without my hat, like I'm like whoa,
Right, right, right.
the world's an IMAX.
Yeah. Well, I love the matching galaxy. I think it's your thing. I feel like I always associate you with the galaxy print because like not everybody can pull it off, but you can. Oh, come on now. Yes,
That's my
yes.
camera bag.
Love it. Yes, camera bag.
Yes. Anyway, Desperate Housewives. So last
Yes.
time we talked about seasons 1 through 4. The reason before I even decided I was gonna have you come on to the episodes, I was already planning on doing a two-part because
Mm.
that the show feels like it's split into two parts because, uh, you know,
Yes.
all 8 seasons are great, but by season 4 it was starting to get a little stale. And so
Right.
when you get to the end and it says 5 years later and there's that time jump and it's like a reset for the show and it really keeps things fresh. I'm like, oh, nice. And what's great is the show is 8 seasons, so and 4 seasons and 4 seasons. It perfectly splits it in half.
Right.
So I was like, just do a two-part episode, and so here
Exactly.
we are with the part two.
That's a great idea, and you're so right, hitting the nail on the head. It kept the show from getting too stale. I had rewatched during COVID, and it was like my second watch, and I had completely forgotten about the time jump. And so when it says 5 years later at the end there, I remember my jaw hitting the floor, and I was like, "Oh, right!"
Yeah,
And
oh,
it's like a different show, but still in the same universe almost.
yeah. And like whenever I watch it for the first time, because I know like it was like Gabby and Carlos, like they're like I said, they're like my favorite characters,
Yeah.
and they always wanted kids, but they tried and they couldn't. And then whenever it does the time jump with them, and then like Juanita going around the corner and they have 2 kids, like I have like legit like teared up. I'm like, they have kids.
Oh, that is so sweet. Yeah, Carlos Solis gets what he wants again. But by this time we like him. I love blind Carlos. I think it's I think it was
Can't
really
get into much
important.
shenanigans.
Exactly. It humbles him. It keeps him from, getting back on that high horse when he's a bit disabled. So,
But what I love is whenever he does get his sight back and he sees like her closet's empty and he realizes like what she's had to deal with over the last
yeah.
few years, like that, like seeing like he's like seeing how she went from completely vain and closet full of stuff to like she had to
Yes.
sell everything just to keep
Yes.
them afloat. And so
Right.
like
It's insane. It's funny because I think on we're going to tell we had talked about how Bree has so much character development in those first few seasons, like especially 1 to 3. But then I feel like from 4 to 8, like or 5 to 8, really, Gabby has the most character development of anybody.
yeah, she goes from completely self-centered to being like well the Gabby that we know and love.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, we love all parts of her, but
Uh,
still,
we
it's
we love them. We love all of the housewives from the beginning, but like we
yes.
love some more, some less sometimes.
Exactly, depending on the day. And it's been a while since I've like fully watched seasons 5 through 8 and locked in on it. But I remember being so taken aback with Gabby in particular, and I was like, all right, if that's how we're starting out, oof, let's see where this goes from here. And we know that it only gets more and more intense, I guess.
Yeah, and then what I love is yeah, like it does like I don't even remember all the mysteries in the last half of the show
Right,
because like the first half of the show like the seasons like each season's mystery was like the highlight of each season, and
right.
then there was like little subplots here and there. But with 5 through 8, it's each season has a mystery, but that's not the main focus because the story's kind of spread out a little more, and there's so many different storylines going on. It's like, oh, and there's a mystery over there we got to solve.
Right,
It
right.
sounds like
And I
Scooby
know
Doo.
we get to see the Youngs again. We get Paul and Zach back at some point, so love them always.
Oh, that reminds me. Hang on. Let me see if I get the right.
Ooh.
Hang on. Let me ask Gemini something.
Oh, okay.
Hey, can you tell me the name of the mayor of Memphis, Tennessee?
The current mayor of Memphis, Tennessee is Paul Young. He assumed office in January of 2024.
That is amazing. I'm so
I
happy.
saw that the other day and
No.
I'm like, I'm gonna tell Summer.
Yes, it's really wonderful to see that he has like really turned his life around.
Yes, he got out of prison.
Yes, yes. And after everything with Beth, blonde little Beth, ugh.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's funny is that season with Beth, it kind of reminds me, as weird as it sounds, and I think I said this at some point. I don't remember where. I know I've said it somewhere. It reminds me of Psycho 3. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Ooh, I haven't, but please elaborate.
Hang on. Let me oh, you can't even see it because of this filter. I have the entire series, Desperate Housewives and the whole Psycho series. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
In
Awesome.
Psycho 3, there's I forgot her name, like Marion or Mary. She basically, have you seen the first Psycho?
Yes, but a long time ago.
She basically is a mirror of Marion Crane from the first one. And
Mm-hmm.
like Norman Bates sees her and he like has flashbacks to Marion and he like falls in love with her and he's like, I'm turning my life around and then at the end she ends up, oh, spoiler alert, she ends up dying. Through no fault of
Shocking.
him, like he doesn't kill her. Like she dies through an accident. But like
Aw.
Beth kind of reminds me of Mary from Psycho 3. And like when first saw it, I'm like the way that she's introduced and like everything about it just made me think of her and then like she ends up dying and I'm like
Oh, that's spooky stuff. But it's so
like
funny, like when you can draw parallels from the Housewives characters to characters in other media, you know?
and like the biggest parallel I've seen in shows, this is in Desperate Housewives and something else. This is people laugh at me when I say this, but stick with me. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
Wait, I was a huge Friendship is Magic fan years ago. Tell me more. Oh, wait.
Because there's like the main six, which is like the housewives, and then
Yeah.
each one has their own distinct personality, and like each one has their own storylines. And then like at the beginning, you don't really know the side characters. There's like kind of like running jokes with the side characters, and by the end of the show, like as the show goes on, you focus more on the side characters. And there's
Right.
even a couple episodes of Friendship is Magic where they only focus on the side characters, and the main six have an adventure in the background. And I think that actually happened in Desperate Housewives a couple times,
Oh, yes.
where like the main housewives weren't even in the episode. There was that episode where they like I think Rex was the voiceover and they focused on the husbands.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
and
great
so
point.
like what I actually what's funny is at one point it was totally unintentional. And this is when I had that thought is I was watching them both at the same time because I was when after the last season of Friendship is Magic came out, I decided to watch from the beginning,
Yeah.
and because I had watched here and there. And then I was like, "Oh, it's ending. Okay, I might as well." And I watched them. And then I was also watching it on Hulu at the same time over the course of a year. And then I'm like seeing all these parallels, and I'm like, it, they have the same writer or something?
Right. Well, you know what? Maybe it's just a formula that works, but now I'm thinking because I think I had only watched the first two seasons of Friendship is Magic. It was out when I was like in college or something, and I was like, "Oh, I used to love My Little Pony." And I was like, "This show's actually really well written." Like,
I
it's kind of
know. People would
amazing.
make fun of me for watching it, but like I like the first couple seasons were no, they were meant for kids, but then they realized
Yeah.
adults were watching it, so they made like more mature episodes. Like there's
Right.
episodes on like depression and stuff, and there's one episode where they didn't say the word suicide, but it's obvious that this character was feeling like doing that.
Yeah.
She wanted like to clip her horn or wings or something like that, and they had to
Mm.
talk her out of it. And I'm like, this is really
Whoa.
intense stuff for a kid show.
That's dark. Yeah, yeah, but that's very interesting. Now you're making me want to go back and watch it. Is it also on Hulu, do you know?
I don't remember. I haven't seen it because like I watched it, and then the movie. There was like the movie came out between like it takes place
Right.
between seasons. I don't remember which, but like I watched it in order, and then I haven't seen it since.
Oh, okay.
There was that Netflix like the Next Generation movie on Netflix. It was supposed to be like 1,000 years later, and I didn't like it because like they implied that the main six that we know, they're legend. They died long ago, and I'm like, don't tell us that.
Yeah, nobody
They
wants
it's
to
a
know
whole other
that.
universe. It's disconnected from the other. I don't want to know that the ones I grew up and loved died.
Right. Don't tell me they all died. That's funny. You know, if you remember, I might have mentioned this on the old pod, but I had been working the toy fair this past year for Hasbro, and they had me stationed at Baby Alive and My Little Pony. And so there was one day where we had, we have groups walking through the whole time, but I remember there were some like really hardcore My Little Pony fans who came by, and they were looking around the booth and they were asking me questions that like I did not know the answer to. And I was like, oh, you just like make it up on the spot. But these are people who, have been fans since the beginning. And so they were asking me about products and merch. And I was just like, well, what you see here is, and making it up as I went along.
Yeah, and then like then they pass that information on to other people.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, I've started a pony rumor, I think, of some kind.
So I think my favorite season of the show is probably the last one because I was like it when I realized what they were going to do with it, I was like, this is such an obvious plot line. Why didn't they do it
Mm,
before? The end of the seventh season where they it feels like they were building to it this whole time because like from the beginning there was implications that Gabby had a dark past, something happened, and they slowly get
right,
revealed that her stepfather did something, and then like in the seventh season, it's revealed what he did,
right.
and then like near the end, like he comes back and he like tracks her down, and he's like hunting her throughout the season, and then it's like, oh, this whole series has been leading to this, and then they kill him, hide his body, and then the season ends, and you realize season eight's going to be basically where the sidewalk ends, but in Desperate Housewives form. And
Ooh.
I was like, this is such an obvious plot line. I am surprised they didn't do it sooner, but it's the perfect last season.
Yeah,
And
I
it,
wonder why they waited so long to do it. Even just talking about it right now, I have chills, remembering
yes.
everything. And you see them like standing over with the shovel and oh my gosh, yes, it's
And
just
like Susan's PTSD and like she like channels it into her artwork.
yes,
And
yes,
it's like
yes.
she wants to go to the authorities, but everyone's like, no, 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 and it like splits them all up. Like
Right.
that was such a good season.
I mean, absolutely. And I think that's when things kicked, really back into high gear. And they were probably like, all right, this is going to be the end of it and we have to make it count.
And then like McCluskey taking the fall for all of them, and
Oh, I
some
have chills again.
oh I know like kind of a heartbreaking real life thing. The lady that played McCluskey, she actually passed away like right after they filmed that.
Right,
So
right.
like I
Catherine
hear like she
Houston.
passed away before the episode even aired. So it's like
Yeah.
they show her passing away, and it's they may as well have actually filmed her passing away.
Oh, it's so sad. I believe she had been fighting cancer for a long time.
Yeah.
So and that was even like part of her plot at one point was that she was
Yeah.
sick. So
Yeah, that's why
oh,
she like that's why they didn't like arrest her or anything. She admitted she confessed on the stand. The judge was like, due to the person's like advanced age and poor health, no charges will be filed.
oh, it gives me just I have
Oh, I
complete
know.
goosebumps right now. Holy shoot.
Oh, I see it.
Ah,
And
it's
what's
so
great.
good. It's so
Oh, I
perfect.
know. And what's great because it's her that does it. She like the whole series, like she's like the neighborhood. She's the tea spiller, basically, and
Yes,
everyone
yeah.
goes to her, and like some people don't like her, some people love her, and then she ends up saving everybody at the end.
Right, right. And I think the way that Desperate Housewives like really ends with, we see everybody parting and going their separate ways, and it just I feel gutted every single time. I'm like on the verge of tears when, Susan is driving off the lane. She's the last one to leave. And we see the ghosts of the people that came before. And
Oh,
it just like breaks my heart to think, I think Mary Alice even says in the outro, they never played poker again. Ugh.
yeah, and the last that showed like the last time they played it, and it's like, oh man, that was a good scene.
Yeah.
And then the there was something I wanted to talk about in the last episode, but it would be spoiler for this one. There's a scene in the first season where I think it was Susan, Edie, Carl, and someone else, I think Mike, they go
Mm.
to like a club and
Oh,
then like
yeah.
Susan sing. And I was thinking it was kind of eerie because everybody in that scene except for Susan dies.
Oh my God. That's, ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then like I kind of okay, so like I love the ending of Desperate Housewives, but I kind of hate it because
I
I
know.
you would want them to like have like a happy ending where like it's like and then they all lived on the lane for years and had many adventures, but it ends with them going their separate ways and never seeing each other again. And
Ah, it kills me. Yeah, I know.
and then like Mike dies like 3 episodes before the end. I'm like, why? Why do you
Yeah.
give Susan such a heartbreaking ending?
After everything that Susan and Mike had been through as well, it's like, how are you going to do this to
I
them?
know.
And all they wanted was to just be happy together. But no, Marc Cherry said, and you're gonna die, and you're gonna die. And personally, I think Carl's death was completely unnecessary.
Right?
It was just and then Bree and Carl, like, what a pair. And then you're gonna just rip that away too. Great, cool, awesome.
No one's allowed to be happy on this show.
Right. I think I had uploaded a video to TikTok a while ago, months ago, where I was like, anytime they have peace for more than 5 minutes, Marc Cherry comes in and he's like, you and I both know. And then
It's like, yeah, we
fixes
don't do
that
that
right
here.
up. Yeah. Sad.
So when they announced that Kerry Washington was going to do like a revival of the show, I was wondering how that was going to work because in the last episode at the end it said, they slowly over the next month or year moved away and they never came back. It's like,
Right.
how are we going to do that? Um, yeah, so like I'm hoping it's in the same continuity and
Right,
in the
right.
same neighborhood because I don't like it's called Wisteria Lane. So like
Right.
hopefully it's in the same continuity in the same place. But like I don't want it to be like a complete restart.
I
But
agree. I
like
agree.
who I feel like there has to be at least one character coming back because like I don't know if you know The Office just they just did a revival of The Office
The
called The
paper,
Paper.
right?
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet, but I saw the trailer and I loved it because it looked good. The trailer looked I was like, "Oh, this actually looks good." I was skeptical. I was like, "Don't do that. Don't do it." Then I saw it. I'm like, "That's actually good." And then at the end of the trailer it says Oscar. He goes, "No, no, 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 not you. No." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Oscar comes
wow.
back." And it's like you
Yes,
have to have one
yes.
character come back.
I saw
Like,
him on the billboard and I was like, oh, they're redoing The Office? And then I realized, because I thought the one guy was Jim when I was looking at the
oh,
billboard. And then I was like, wait, no. And then there's like a blonde girl and I was like, oh, Angela cut her hair. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
and then on further inspection, I was like, no, it's just Oscar and a bunch of new people.
yeah, because like they had that as like a teaser at the end where like it showed like a whole bunch of new people, and at the end it shows Oscar. He looks up, he sees the camera, goes, "No, no, 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 not you! I'm not again." Kind of like a Squid Game 2. I played this game before.
Yes, yes. I love it. I really do want to watch that show, but it's just been a timing thing.
I
There's so many
know,
shows on my list right
I
now, but I'm
know.
curious to see what they do with Wisteria Lane.
It's like I
So,
literally renewed my Netflix and Peacock and all these things so I could watch The Paper, and
yeah.
I still haven't seen Wednesday 2 and Squid Game 3 came out and I haven't seen that.
Squid Game 3. I didn't realize we were that
Yeah,
far
they
along on
shadow
Squid
dropped
Game.
it. See, with Squid Game 2, they had this massive campaign about it. And then when I renewed
Oh.
Netflix so that I could watch Wednesday season 2, and then the feature thing is Squid Game 3, and I'm like, "Oh, when's the release date? Oh, it's out."
Oh, it's right
They
now.
shadow dropped it. How do they shadow drop something that massive?
Right, right. Well, maybe they just know there are people like constantly checking to see what's new with it because it has some
But here's the
diehard
thing,
fans.
that might have been a mistake because nobody heard it. No one's talked about it, and you were, yeah,
Wow.
apparently it was a
Yeah.
couple months ago, and you just now found out about it, and
Yeah.
so like no one's talking about it because no one knows about it.
That's so strange. And you'd think that, they'd push the marketing with all the money that they have,
I
but
know,
I
but
don't
they're
know.
probably thinking, oh, it's popular, people will notice. Like no one's noticed.
Right.
It's like
Plot
when are they
twist,
releasing the
nobody
third
noticed.
season?
Right, right. Interesting. Okay, well, we've got a lot on our respective lists.
And yeah, even on my days off, like okay, so I recorded way in advance so that I could not worry about the podcast for long,
Right.
for a long time, and then I actually got caught up on that. So this last couple of days off, I've actually just been recording because I was like, crap.
Yeah.
The last recorded episode went live this past Sunday. And so it's like, oh crap, this is going to be the
Oh,
next episode. This
wow.
is going live. No, it was 2 Sundays ago. This is going live on Sunday in like 3 days.
Oh my gosh, exciting.
So,
Okay, wait.
which is kind of unusual for this podcast now because I normally everything else has was recorded in like May,
Right,
June, and July, and
right.
so like everything else was recorded months ago, and now this is going live 3 days after I recorded.
Ooh, that's so. I wonder how that's gonna feel for you
Well, it
after,
feels
you're
weird because like
posted.
that's why because like I was messaging you months ago and I was like,
Yeah.
no pressure or anything.
Yeah.
You got like 5 months. Well, actually, funny thing, it's a good thing we didn't record when I wanted to record because I was getting upset because like you were like, oh sorry, the schedule's not working up. I just moved from New York, and I was like,
Right.
that's fine, I understand. But it's a good thing we didn't record then because if that episode went live now, it'd be super awkward.
That's such a good point, Trevor. You are correct.
God's timing, where
Wow.
it's there's a reason for everything.
Yeah, it's divine timing, isn't it? That's so funny. I hope I haven't had sleep in my eye this entire time.
I
But
haven't either.
if I have, welcome to humanity. So,
Yeah, you're flawless regardless. It doesn't matter.
oh, too kind, too kind. That's me being false.
Yeah, it's like I said in the last episode. I'd tell you to stop being adorable, but I know you can't help it.
Thank you so much. No, that means a lot to me because, I think I'm adorable, but then I'm out in the world and I'm like, does anybody here think I'm adorable?
Everyone's like, "Who's this hag think she is?"
Yeah. What is it? Yes, it's the Libra in me. What can I say?
No, no, like I no.
No.
I don't know what I was like. I don't know what I was gonna say.
Hey, it's okay,
Once I
I
started talking, I'm like, wait, I don't even have anything to say. Why am I blah?
it's so funny. I do that all the time where I'll start a sentence and then, sometimes your brain doesn't filter things out quite as quickly as it should. So I'll just stop talking and the other person is like, "Are you going to finish your thought?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not."
Like that wasn't going anywhere. It was a dead end either way.
Yes, because I'll sometimes realize mid-sentence that what I'm saying could maybe be construed as offensive, but I mean things very sincerely, very genuinely, and lovingly. But just in case, I had somebody from work recently say, "Well, I see how sometimes you say things that could be taken the wrong way," and I was like, "What?" So now I'm like on high alert just in case.
Yeah, like I said in the last episode, like I'm asexual, so I don't see the world sexually. So like there's
Right.
a lot of like phrases and things that like I don't see. It's like I stopped saying, "Oh, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful," because everyone's like, "Oh, I have a
Aw.
boyfriend." I was like, so I what I started saying is, I like your whole aesthetic.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, I feel bad that you have to edit yourself for people, but
Yeah, like apparently, like even sometimes even adorable is seen as too sexual, and I'm like, that's not.
no.
It's like a cat's adorable. You think
Right,
that's
like
sexual?
puppies are adorable, Blanche is adorable wherever she
So,
is. So,
speaking of which, so some coworkers a while back, last Halloween, they were trying to think of like, you know how they have like sexy Pennywise, sexy this, sexy
right.
that. They were trying to think of what's the most outlandish one you could think of, and it doesn't make sense. And they said sexy nun, and I said no, 'cause I've actually seen that.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
the thing that I said something, and they were like. They said it was offensive. I said something more outlandish than sexy nun is sexy burqa.
Oh my gosh. I mean, oh, you're right though. Like that actually makes sense.
Yeah, it's like because
Because
that's
they're
not a
complete
thing.
opposites.
If the burqa is sexy, it's not a burqa.
Right, exactly that. Like it's meant to be a modesty thing. So you're right and you should say it.
They were like,
People are too offended by everything these
yeah,
days.
I said that to like coworkers. They were like, yeah, the most outlandish thing I could think of is sexy nun. I'm like, actually, I think it would be sexy burqa. It would be the most outlandish. Like, you can't say things like that. That's offensive to like Islamic people. I was like,
Oh
but
my gosh. And the Islamic people in the back being like, we don't care. Oh my
something I
goodness.
have learned though is so like there was this girl that came to the Will where I work. I take photos of of the guests, and this girl had a hijab on. It was like this deep blue with like gold lining, and I
Mm.
thought it looked amazing. And I told her, and she was like, "Oh, it's considered impolite to comment on hijabs. I was like, oh.
Oh.
She goes, I appreciate the compliment, but like we it's best not to
Oh,
even
that's so
acknowledge it.
interesting. I didn't
And
know
I
that
was like,
either.
okay, sorry. And she goes, that's okay, you didn't know. But like, yeah, so like I don't even acknowledge it anymore.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I would have been like, "Oh, that's so pretty," you know? Wow.
Yeah. But like at least she was understanding and like was like did she saw it as like a teaching moment, like, how dare you?
Right, right, exactly.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm pretty solid, by the way, just for another like 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes, just because I have to do a little face before I get to work. They're recording a TV show. They're filming a TV show at work today.
Well, first off, you already look perfect, so no makeup needed. And um so to address that jump cut just now, audience, Zoom timed out on us, and so we had to start over. It's actually like a half hour later.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, Summer and I are such good friends, and like we actually, when we jumped back into the link instead of recording, we just started chatting, and I'm like, wait, we should be recording this.
Right, right. Yeah, everybody needs to get in on the conversation, you know?
Yeah, it's like, and so like we actually, I don't even want to go back over what we talked about.
Yeah.
I will say, Teri Hatcher. I'll talk about this again. Teri
Yeah.
Hatcher just started her own Desperate Housewives podcast. She played Susan Mayer on the show. Mayer. I remember that was,
It's funny because Mayor is how they say it in the pilot, and then every episode after is Meyer.
and she addresses that. And so it's a
Oh.
rewatch podcast, and so I watched the pilot episode and listened to her first episode. It's her and the actress that played Julie Mayer, and then
Yeah,
her actual daughter is the three of them. And then
right.
they've done the second episode. I watched the second episode, and I still have the. So what I decided now is I'm just gonna leave the disc in my PS5,
Oh,
and
that's a good idea.
instead of taking it out every week, and I'm just leaving it in there.
Right. That's
And
so, wow, that brings me back because my PS2 was how I used to watch DVDs.
yeah,
Wow. Those were the days.
those were the days.
I'm
Um,
so fascinated. Now I do want to kind of tune into Teri's podcast just to, see what she has to
and
say.
she does have some interesting insights because she was there,
Yeah,
and she
yeah, of
talked
course.
about like the casting, and then like she and Marcia were going to swap roles, and then the people were like, "No, you would be better as Bree. You'd be better as Susan." And she was, and then Terry was like, "You know what? In retrospect, no one would have. She was the perfect Bree."
Yeah, yeah. I can't imagine anybody else as
Yeah,
Brie.
I can't imagine Terry as Bree.
Right,
Like,
me neither.
imagine Marcia being like all klutzy and ditzy.
Oh, wow, that's so. I mean, I'm sure she could pull it
Alternate.
off, but
She
it's
could have, yeah,
like,
she could have pulled it off, but like it's an alternate universe. I'm like, I can't. This is weird.
right, right, right.
As,
One of
as is, everyone was perfectly cast.
exactly that, and it's so funny that Marsha's coming back up because at my acting class last night when I was talking to my scene partner Dylan, he had said that he studied at the Ruskin Theater Group, and I was like, why do I know that name? That's where we had seen Marcia in her last play that
Oh.
she did. So it's over by the Santa Monica airport. And I was like, oh my gosh, I saw Marcia Cross in a play there. And he goes, she was in my class. So Marcia Cross is out here just like taking acting classes.
He doesn't need them.
I know, but she wants to stay on top of her craft, and it's amazing.
I love it. Speaking, okay, so like you did talk about that in the last episode we did together, like how you met her in person a few times.
Yeah.
But speaking of the last episode we did, I actually watched it yesterday. I knew there was things I forgot to mention,
Mm.
and there is something I touched on, but like didn't really go into much detail on as much as I wanted to because we moved on. Um, Everyone seems to see the term filler episode as a bad thing.
Hmm.
And because like it's been reported, like they haven't released any details about we talk about the Kerry Washington Desperate Housewives reboot while recording or when we weren't recording?
Yes, we were recording.
Okay, because we've talked so much. I'm like,
Yeah.
you remember earlier when we said this, and the audience was like,
Uh,
"What?"
what? No, you didn't.
I think that happened because like there was one moment when I was watching our episode yesterday, where I'm like, "Wait, when did we say that? Oh, we forgot to record that, didn't we?" And so, but it's been reported like they haven't released too many details, like the
Right.
episode. but it's being reported that it's going to be 10 episodes, which I don't like because like
Oh,
one like part of the magic of the original Desperate Housewives is because it was like 24 episodes, it had time to breathe and you can like sit with these characters and
yeah,
have the filler episodes, which
yeah,
everyone sees filler episode as like a curse word, but
right.
like it's those are actually kind of the heart of the show because those are the episodes
Yes,
where you get to actually like live with the characters and like builds the character development. Those are,
yes.
I want to replace filler episode with character development episodes or like
That's a great
world
point.
building episodes or
Yeah.
because like the episodes like I did mention like the new Doctor Who episodes.
Mm-hmm.
There was the two the when we did the episode last year there was only one season but now there's been two
Oh, okay.
seasons of Judy Atwell and both seasons are 8 episodes and but at the end like spoiler I don't know if did you see it.
No, but I'm probably not going to, in fairness.
Okay, so spoiler alert for the audience if you're planning on watching the new Doctor Who's episode. Um, he, um, oh, I forgot the name of it. What the heck? I'm a fan. Where they change, uh, regenerate.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I am a huge fan, and I know all the terminologies, but
It was
like
on the
in
tip
the
of your
plot,
tongue.
like when he force changes,
Yeah.
like when he regenerates at the end, and then like usually like when David Tennant regenerated at the end of his at the 10th Doctor and all that, like it's sad. It's like oh we're saying goodbye to this Doctor we
Right.
love, but he regenerated, and it's like I still don't really know who this Doctor is. I didn't
Oh,
really spend
yeah.
time with the character, and then like he said in both seasons he has an emotional farewell to the companion. It's emotional for him, but I'm like I don't know who these people are
Right. I don't really feel anything for you because I don't know you that well. Yeah.
because yeah, in the previous seasons, like with Rose and Martha and
Right.
all of them, like we actually got to see them interact and we got to see their relationship.
Yeah. See how
Where
they feel about each other.
yeah, and then these two were told they're best friends. We don't actually see
Yeah.
it because we don't have those filler episodes. They're not. They're
Well, you have to wonder like what the reasoning is behind this. I think part of it is money because, do they have enough money to make even 15 to 20 episodes of a show? Is it people's attention span? Maybe it's that too, and thinking, well, no one's going to stick with the show if they see that it's going to be 20 to 25 episodes long. So
worth the
I
money.
don't know. But people, if you have a good product, the people will stay, I think.
Exactly. But here's the funny thing: you say like, "What? Maybe there's not the money there." This is when Disney actually stepped in to help finance the show. So it's the money of the BBC and Disney.
Oh,
And there's less
wow.
episodes. Yeah. And so whenever Disney announced that, when BBC announced that Disney will be coming in to help finance the show, people threw a fit, like, Disney's gonna ruin it. But no, all they did, they didn't buy Doctor Who. They don't own it. They're not gonna do what they did with Star Wars and Marvel
Right,
and all
right.
that. Which I know I'm not complaining. I actually like Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, they ruined it. Like, no, they didn't. Well,
I
like
mean, they're putting their money behind it.
exactly. And if you look at the old Doctor Who is known for being cheesy and campy and poor effects and claymation
Yes, yes.
and like poor animation. Well, the last two seasons have actually been like movie quality because it has the Disney money
Wow.
behind it. They've been good, like really good quality effects and stuff,
Yeah,
which is weird for Doctor Who, but like they have the money behind it. And then like Disney's contribution isn't just like financial. They've
right.
actually helped like encourage them with like stories. Like the very first episode that we see, I think it was the church on Ruby Road, the first episode. Like the first half of the episode, we focus on Ruby,
Mm,
the new companion, and we don't actually see the doctor. We don't. Wouldn't have seen the doctor until halfway through the episode, but Disney encouraged BBC to have a scene near the beginning where we actually interact with him, where he's walking down the street, because they felt if we go too long without seeing the doctor. And so Disney's contribution isn't just financial. They actually like were like, hey, this might actually improve this story, and
right.
it did. So like people were complaining that Disney's involvement, but I actually I'm glad Disney got involved.
Yeah.
But like
Sounds
anyway,
like
we're
it.
getting distracted by this. My point is filler episodes. Like
Bring them
back in
back.
oh I know, bring them back. Like we even kind of joked. I even kind of joked last year whenever we did that episode. Like, if they were to do a Desperate Housewives reboot, they'll probably be like 8 to 10 episodes. And then look, it,
Well, yeah, and you're a prophet, and I think it's also I think this actually goes to the huge community behind something like fan fiction, right? Because a lot of fanfic is essentially filler episodes of, whatever the show or the film or the book that a person is reading that they're in the fandom for. It's like a lot of these one shots that, I wrote them when I was a kid and as
I
a
wrote a few.
teenager. Yeah, exactly. And it's like you just want more time to like sit with these characters, get to know them. That's why people read total fluff of just characters that they love because it's effectively a filler.
Yeah, and then that's one of the reasons I love like the Desperate Housewives is not just the good give me a good character development and
Right.
story and like a good world and I'm happy.
Right.
And then with the 24 episodes per season and like hour-long episodes, like by the end of the show it's like you've lived with these characters for a long time. You know them. And
Yeah.
then if they whenever they do this reboot or this revival or whatever, and if it is 10 episodes, it's basically going to be straight to the mystery. No
Right.
filler episodes, no filler, no fluff, which a lot of people are like, "Oh, thank God." Like, "No, give us that." That's
Give me the
part of the magic of the
fluff.
show.
Yes, yeah, yes, exactly. And I think you're hitting the nail on the head there with the word magic. But that's just very interesting because, part of the reason we were so distraught and devastated at the end of the original Desperate Housewives is because you feel like you've said, you've lived with these people, you know them, and their struggles are your struggles, and that's why like finishing a show or when a show ended back when they were doing these longer episodes and longer seasons, it was like really gutting. And now, people breeze through shows, and if there is a sadness from finishing it, it's not because I'm sad to not be with these characters anymore. It's what am I going to do? I'm going to be bored. I need another show.
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere that like the reason I was doing research on this for another thing altogether. There was another show that I wanted to see that was only like 6 episodes. I was like,
Mm,
why? And I think the new Harry Potter show, it's going to be 6 episodes long.
you're joking.
No.
Wait, that's not. Wait, what?
Yeah,
Wait, I
uh,
thought the whole point was so that they would do the books exactly as written.
exactly. Yeah, it's season one's going to be. I think because the book's so short that it's maybe the later seasons are going to be longer. At least I hope. Imagine Order of the Phoenix being 6 episodes long.
Oh my
And so
god.
and so I was looking at like why do they do this? And then like one of the theories is like you said money, but also like they want to make sure it's bingeable.
Oh my god.
And what's like yeah, I get it like because there's so much content out there. It's like I still haven't watched Wednesday. Like there's so
Right.
much to watch. Like I don't have time to watch the stuff I want to watch.
But in with something like Potter, there's always going to be a massive fan base. Even people who are mad at the
Exactly.
casting, whatever, they're going to watch it. You don't need to drop, 6 episodes at one. Like, oh my gosh, that's not the way to do it.
No.
How disappointing. I'm so
I'm
glad you
just
shared this information with
I'm
me.
just hoping that it's only because it's the first season and it's such a short book. I'm
Right.
hoping later seasons, like when they get to Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, like the longer books, I'll hope they expand to at least 12
Right.
episodes.
At least, but I mean, there's still a lot that happens in that first book. So
Oh,
hopefully it's long
yeah.
episodes. I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, based on like behind the scenes stuff they've released, like they're including a bunch of stuff they left out of the movies.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll,
So,
I'll believe it when I see
yeah.
it. Goodness gracious. I'm so glad you were the one to break this news to me because if I had found out on my own, oof.
And we got your live reaction.
Yeah, exactly. The look of absolute disgust. Yes.
Yeah. And speaking of difference from last year, speaking of something I've never said at all in this episode, um, when I recorded last year, something I've been upset about whenever I did recordings of with guests is Zoom. Like I didn't know about the different views
Right.
And 'cause I wondered how you and Christy would have it so that you two were side by side. I'm like, how do you do that? And then I saw View. I recorded with my friend Vicky for The Digressor a few months ago. We did an
Right.
episode on Braveheart, and I was playing around with it, and I found the side by side, the whole episode were like that. And I'm like, oh, that's how they do it. And then so, like, the difference between a year ago and I was watching the episode
Yeah.
yesterday, and it would keep switching back and forth between the three of us. And there were times when, and this is one thing I hate about that, when it's just on speaker mode or whatever, when
Yeah.
there's reactions from the other people and you don't see it. You just see like when like you're talking and like
Right.
the two of us were having reactions, and we you can't see that because you're talking or something.
Right. Right.
And
Oh,
so
that's
like
such a solid find.
and
Well,
so
we had
this
used
you can see both of us at the
Riverside.
same time because we're
Yes, no,
together
this
in
is
person.
ideal. I think this is the perfect setup. When we were doing We're Going to Tell, we were actively using Riverside, which you can like record in there and edit in there, which is all fine and good. But then I would actually take that recording and I would edit in Adobe Premiere. And so that would make it a lot more tedious, actually. So there is the possibility of doing side by side on that. But I was just like, I'm a very particular editor. And so I like everything like just so. So, as I've joked, you can tell like who edits what episodes.
Okay, another jump cut right there. We kind of went off the rails and started talking personally, which I'm not going to put on the podcast. So, but we both have to go right now. Summer, do you have any last words? That sounds like a threat.
Oh, it's just been wonderful. It's always great chatting with you and, getting to talk to my own self. So I really loved this. And yeah, I mean, thanks for having me.
I'll always have you. If anytime you want to talk, like, I'll just send you every episode that I
Please
have
do.
planned. And anytime you want to be like, oh, I want to talk about that movie, you're always welcome
Yeah.
on. I love talking with you.
Thank you. If I feel like I can actively contribute, I'd love to.
Yes. It's like okay, it doesn't even have to be for a podcast. Like you can call me anytime just to chat
Thank
because
you. I really appreciate it.
you're so fun to talk to.
Right back at you. Amazing. And thank you all for watching.
The Rambler Network.